am Colleen Kelly, and this is Round Trip with Colleen Kelly, your go-to podcast for unforgettable travel stories, top tips, and all the adventures that you've been waiting for. And today I've got a very special guest on. Her name is Megan Kudla. She's my producer, has been for many years, and she's going to talk about Portugal. So I hope you join us. I'm dreaming of Portugal right now, but she can tell us more. Okay, everybody. So I've got a very, very special guest, very, very special. Her name is Megan Kudla. She's our producer who's actually normally behind the scenes creating all the magic and is now here with us to talk about Portugal. So I'm really excited to talk about Portugal and Porto, which is very popular right now, the city of Porto. So tell us about your trip because you lived in Spain.
Yes, I did. So it was very easy for me to get over, and I definitely took advantage of that this year. I mean, a flight from where I was, Madrid, for the past year to Lisbon is so easy, so easy. However, it's also very easy to get to Porto, and Porto has a separate airport. So you have Lisbon, which is the capital, which most people think of maybe right away.
Yeah.
But Porto is north. And if you're doing a more long Portugal tour, it's about 3 hours train ride from Lisbon.
And is it in the mountains? Where is it?
So,
What does it look like?
right. So Porto is most known for its connection to the Douro River and the Douro Valley. So you have Porto, which is closer to the coast, and then if you drive inland, you get to the Douro Valley, where all the port wine grapes are made, the vineyards.
Hence the word Porto.
Yes, there
This
you
is
go.
where it originally started, port wine.
Yeah, so if people don't know what port wine is, it is a sweet Portuguese fortified wine, and it's very specific, and people travel from all over the world just to come take tours and taste it. And you can obviously stay in Porto, and that's a hot spot just because they have the cellars where the port wine is aged there, or people like to take tours through the Douro Valley itself to see the vineyards or even stay, which I've done both now. I'm so grateful to have been able to do both in my life.
Wow.
And I will, like I said, I'll keep going back because it's one of my favorite places. I love that city.
What makes it so special? Because all these people are now talking about Porto.
Porto is a city that is very hilly. It has winding steps and staircases and cobbled stones everywhere. Bring your walking shoes. Um, colorful houses all over the place. It has a very leisurely feel, and expansive viewpoints everywhere. So they have these viewpoints called miradouros all over the city. You can climb up a little hill and get beautiful views. And then one of the big hits is the Douro River, which runs through. So you have two sides to the city that are really popular. You have the Ribeira district, that is the main riverfront area where there's restaurants and people just having a drink and enjoying the river. And then you have the other side of the river, which is called Vila Nova de Gaia. And that is where all the wine cellars are. And in between, to get from one side of the river to the other, there is a bridge called the Dom Louis the First Bridge. So if you can imagine, it's beautiful views, lots of places to walk and get different points, and a very calm, tranquil river that you absolutely want to grab wine and sit at during sunset.
It
So
sounds incredible.
yeah.
It sounds incredible. Is it a big city? Is it a medium size? What would you say?
Yeah, Porto, as we speak, I actually don't know how many people. It's not as big as Lisbon. Um, let's see. I love looking up things as we talk, Colleen.
Yeah.
It is 270,000 residents.
Okay, so I would call that the smaller side. I mean,
Yeah,
but still big enough where
big
it's
enough.
not,
Yeah, definitely smaller
several
city.
million people, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
kind of my style. I like a little bit more of a city like that where it's just, not too crazy busy and too big. Not that Lisbon doesn't have its people love Lisbon too, but okay. So you went there. Where did you stay when you went to Porto, and how'd you find a place to stay?
So Porto, I mean, there's a million places to stay in Porto. Um, The first time I actually went there, this is a fun story. I actually stayed in a hostel that was inside the Sao Bento train station, the railway
Oh,
station, which is like a beautiful place you should go to see anyway. They have all over the city, known in Lisbon, in Portugal in general, in Porto. Um, you probably know this, Colleen. The blue and
no.
white beautiful tiles that is kind of Portugal's
Oh,
kind
yes, I know those tiles, yes.
Yes. Azulejos, they're called. The train station is one of the most famous places where you can see beautiful ceramic tiles. And the first time I stayed there, I was in a hostel inside the train station. So that was my
You're
first
like
experience. Yes,
you're like, "Wait,
it
what is this?"
was
Was it
actually great.
cool?
It
I mean,
was
some of the
cool.
hostels I've been to have been amazing.
There are some really
Really
cool options out there.
yeah, yeah.
So that was years ago, though. This time around, I just did a small hotel in the city, but the big thing I did was I had the chance to stay at a beautiful, beautiful property called the Octant Douro. It's a hotel. It's in Castelo de Paiva, which is 1 hour from Porto. So if you hop in a car, you can just drive 1 hour in, and you'll be in the beautiful valley, and the actual hotel is, like, within the hillside. It's gorgeous.
Oh, I saw some pictures. It was beautiful. And
Yeah,
it's only an hour outside of Porto, which is really close. And
yeah.
what does this hotel look like? And is it just situated out there in the middle of a valley or like what does it
Yeah,
look
so
like?
what really was stunning to me was if you look at the property from, say, from the river, it looks like and mimics the vineyards of the Douro Valley wine region. So there are these tiers to the actual hotel, that is beautifully, like, cascading down the hillside, and it looks like a vineyard, basically, but it's a beautiful, like, luxurious hotel. It's really cool.
Wow. Okay, and what was your room like? What was it like when you walked in?
Yeah, okay, so, what they did at the hotel, and I think is, really fabulous, is the way they designed it. Everything is gorgeous and beautiful, but they opted for a more minimalistic design, so everything's very clean and peaceful and calm. The best part, though, is the floor to ceiling windows. They wanted it to be calm on the inside and then the show to be your view. So you have floor to ceiling windows where at every step you're able to admire the Douro Valley. They
Oh,
said
wow.
that's what they want to be the star of the show because it is. It's a really, really beautiful, beautiful view. So yeah, it's a pretty large property. They have 29 rooms and then 20 larger accommodations that's part of their house collection. And these have, all unique features, so if someone's booking a room, they can kinda choose what's best for them because some have balconies, some have terraces, some have, private pools. There
Oh,
is a house that has, like, you know, a private pool and it has a few rooms, so if you have a group of people, you can all go in and stay in a house um, on the river. So it's
love
really
that.
interesting how many varieties of rooms and options they have, to accommodate different people. So, whether you're going as a couple or going with a girls' trip, something like a house would be so fun.
Yeah,
Girls at bachelorette party, vibes could
yeah,
be amazing.
exactly. A house would be nice because you could have the pool as, like, your gathering place
Right,
or your living room and then have your own bedrooms, which is
right.
nice. And what was your room like?
Um, Again, the floor to ceiling windows is what I'll put as my
Beautiful.
favorite part of it. So, huge, beautiful bed, you got the floor to ceiling windows that faces, the mountains and the valley. Um, yeah, I mean, that's really the stunning part. There's a TV for you to enjoy, and, um, they give you all your creature comforts, but really it's the view, Colleen. I think that's my favorite part. I
Oh
think they even have rooms, this is pretty cool, that have 360 windows.
oh, that'd be beautiful. That
Yeah,
would
so
be
it's like
amazing.
a little
Wait, I saw a
pod.
picture of you in front at a pool.
I had the honor of having, an in-suite pool, and that was really,
Oh,
really beautiful. So fun. However, if you don't book a room with a pool attached to it, there are public pools as well. So they have, even an adults only pool and a pool for everyone, which is also something to say too, they are not only kid friendly but also pet friendly. So everyone's welcome at this luxurious hotel. You know, everyone can have a luxurious experience, but there are certain adult spaces as well for those who
Right,
want
right.
some
Because
quiet.
I mean, yeah, you kind of if you don't have any kids with you, it's nice to have that option, but of course, if do have kids, you have the other option.
Right.
But you had one of those in-suite pools in your attached to your room, your own pool.
Yes. Own pool.
Lovely.
Own
It's
pool,
almost like you
places
don't
to
leave your
sit.
room, right? Just have food delivered up, watch the view, and go in the pool.
It was outside, so you know, in the morning you could grab a cup of coffee, sit out on your balcony, dip your toes in the pool and enjoy the view. And then, you know, if you decided to want to finally leave your room, you could go to the spa at the hotel.
Oh, yes, how was the spa? I heard you went there.
Yeah, the spa. What's great about that too is that it's also open to everyone. Obviously, you have to book treatment separately, but you know, you have a heated indoor pool if you don't want to stay outdoors at an outdoor pool. You have a sauna and a gym, so it has everything.
How
Yeah.
was the service? Did you do the massage, facial?
I didn't do any massages or facials, but I know that they have a pretty robust menu of things. And I even heard too that they have specialists come in every once in a while and do residencies there. So they'll stay for a little bit of time. And that's kind of cool, I thought. So if you're
What
into health and wellness, that's something
yeah.
to look into. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. And what was the food like? And this is called Octant Hotels.
Octant.
Octant Hotel Douro? How did you say that?
Yes. So Douro. So this is the Octant group has many hotels. This was the Octant Douro, one hotel in the Douro Valley.
And are they known for luxury? Is that kind of their
Yeah, they're
thing?
beautiful, beautiful luxury properties. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
and the food. I know you said the food was incredible, right?
Well, I mean, if you're going to have beautiful port wine in the Douro Valley, you have to have beautiful food to go with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, their food was fantastic. They had two main restaurants. One was a place that you went to for buffet breakfast. Everyone could go there. It was also open for lunch and dinner, and it was called Atera. That was really lovely. We had seafood, and we had a beautiful tiramisu. One of my favorites I've
This was
had.
their breakfast?
No, this is for dinner. Sorry, for
Oh,
dinner.
sorry.
Yeah, but
Well,
the same place.
sometimes in Europe, they have these incredible breakfasts that have all sorts of interesting, food.
Right, they have that too,
Yeah.
though. So in the morning, they'll have the buffet, and they will have like your pastel de natas,
Yes.
and you know your breads and cheeses, and even hot meals. But this is for dinner. So when I went there for dinner, we had seafood, beautiful tiramisu, and one of my favorite things too was they made two handcrafted cocktails with port wine. So that was super fun to
Oh.
try.
So you could have port wine and a cocktail overlooking the Douro River. Did I
Yep,
pronounce that correctly?
yep, it's
Oh my
perfect.
gosh, I have to go there.
The other restaurant they have is actually a 2026 Michelin Guide featured restaurant called Braiva by chef Darcio Enriquez. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his name somewhat correct. And that was an amazing experience. So, if you are staying there, book one night to get this meal because it's a journey, a culinary journey for sure. So this chef has handcrafted seasonal tasting menus and he draws inspiration and uses products from the area. And also in like the storytelling of the whole entire experience, he is intertwining his own history with the region itself. So his personal storytelling. It's really beautiful. And the food was
Wow.
incredible. And then you have wine pairings. So the sommelier was wealth of knowledge. You can really tell was passionate about the work he did as well. And so you have the food, you have the wine, and yeah, like I said, a culinary journey. I
Uh,
can't stress that enough. It was wonderful.
yes, and is it Michelin starred, you said? It
Yeah,
has a
so
Mich
it's 2026 Michelin Guide featured restaurant.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's incredible, and I love the idea that it's locally sourced, and then he's, not just creating a meal, but like you just said, creating a story.
Right.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was
So how many hours was that one? 3?
Oh, yeah, it was a few hours. We
Okay.
we got there when it was bright and sunny, and we left when it was dark.
Okay.
It was great.
Wow, that's incredible. How long did you stay there again? Like 2 nights, maybe?
2 nights.
3? How beautiful. What a great experience.
Yeah,
Just to, like, experience the Douro Valley and
I know.
be surrounded by the beautiful river and the valleys and
And that's the thing
wineries.
too, is if you're gonna be there, I'm sure you're gonna wanna go out on the river because that's such a part of the experience. So,
Mm.
one other thing I will mention is you could book a river tour on a boat, and they work with this family who has refurbished, an old Rebello boat. I had no idea what that
Yeah,
was,
I
and
didn't know
learn
what that
about it.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. It is originally a wooden vessel that was used to transport the port wine barrels to the city of Porto to age in the cellars there. So they had found this old boat, this family refurbished it, and is now giving tours on it. So you can have like up to 6 people and take a 1 or 2 hour tour down there. And it was so special because my friend and I was with my friend, we went on this tour, and the skipper was like the third generation of this family. So not only did it feel so cozy and special, but he was also a wealth of knowledge about the area. So along the way, he was letting us enjoy and also telling us facts about the valley. So I thought that was really cool as well, and I would 100% recommend that. And you get a bottle of wine, you can sit up on the top. It's fun.
Oh my gosh, and you get a whole tour, and it's only, like, 6 people at the most, which I think is great because then you could get to know that skipper, like you just
Yeah,
mentioned, and really just kind of immerse yourself in the environment. Wow,
yeah.
how fun. How long did that tour go for? A couple hours, maybe?
Ours was it I think I lost track of time, but, you could do 1 or 2
I could
hours, I
see that.
think.
Okay.
Yes, 1 or 2 hours.
Oh my gosh, what a blessing to do all that and to
Mm,
go to Portugal and experience the meals and the people and the river. I mean, it sounds like a great place to go, and I feel like I know that I've been starting to hear about Porto lately.
yeah,
Obviously, we all know about Lisbon because it's the capital,
for sure.
but, hearing about an area only 1 hour outside of Porto, and I feel like more of us need to know that because, we wanna get out, we wanna be with the locals, we wanna go to places that aren't over touristed, um, and they probably appreciate your coming there and, exploring a new area too.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that there's a million tours you can take to get up to, um, the Douro Valley region, and I would just say whether you're going to Lisbon, whether you're going to Porto, if you're visiting, like look into it because it is a beautiful region, and port wine is one of the most popular parts about Portugal.
Right.
So to go do that, and even in Porto, we did do a cellar tour, and they incorporate other cultural elements, like usually pair it with a Fado show. And Fado, if you don't know what that is Portuguese music. So you gotta experience
Oh.
it all. So to go to a cellar and do the music and taste it, and then go to the valley and actually see the vineyards with your own eyes, or stay at a beautiful
Ugh.
hotel like I did, I think it's so worth it. It's just
It's
really worth it.
it's the Fado show where they wear the beautiful outfits,
A little bit different. I think you might be
Okay.
thinking, oh, I think I've talked to you extensively about seeing flamenco in Spain, so
Oh, yes,
perhaps
yes. Okay, well, I
yeah.
figured maybe Fado they did too, but that's more
They do.
music.
They
Oh, they
do
do?
have, the one I went to, they weren't especially, like, in outfits, but I do believe they have, like, traditional outfits that you can
Okay.
go see and, specific instruments. Yeah.
I'm such a tourist when I ask that question, right?
No,
It's
not at
like
all, not at all. I mean, I would
okay,
ask the same.
and I'm curious about this Octant hotels where you stayed because as, an American, obviously, I'm like, "Oh, Marriott, Hilton."
Yeah, you'll find these hotels scattered all around Portugal. I really enjoyed the Douro location, but for example, you can go all the way south and do the southern coast, which is also a
Oh,
really highly regarded region, and they have
the
properties.
Algarve.
Yeah, all that. So you can kind of find them in different regions. So it depends on what you like. If you wanna do the South and, do the coast, you can do that. If you're like me and want a glass of wine and a sunset and a river, you could do that. So, yeah, they have multiple properties scattered throughout.
Maybe you can do it all. You could just start there and go all the way down.
Perfect.
It's not that big of a country. I love the Algarve and Faro. It's the southernmost region of, I guess you could say Portugal, so it's beautiful,
Yeah.
but very different from Porto, which is in the
Yeah.
north,
Yeah,
right?
when I first went, I went with a friend and we came to Lisbon, which was one whole experience because it's a city, it's a capital.
Mhm.
And then we went south together, and that was a whole 'nother experience. We were doing kayaking, and we were by,
Yeah.
the coast, like you said, and then I went by myself to Porto for the first time, which was a whole other experience, like a smaller city. So you can really get a range of experiences in Portugal, which is maybe why I love the country so much.
And I like the idea too that you can stay in this Octant hotels because it is a Portuguese brand, it sounds like, mainly based in Portugal. And, I don't want to be the typical American that, again, I'm like, oh, I'll stay at the Marriott or the Hilton. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with the Marriott or the Hilton, but if I'm going to go to Portugal and there's a Portuguese hotel chain that does luxury, um, I think that would be the experience, is just staying there.
And it truly was luxurious. I mean, they had everything you wanted. The staff was so friendly, and I do think it's a great choice to celebrate something too. Whether you don't go to Europe a lot and you just want to give yourself like a beautiful experience. That's it. That you can do that. I think it's a great place for a honeymoon. I think a group of like I said, a girls' trip, getting a
Yeah,
house there would be so fun.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
It's a great girls' trip. I could see that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Portugal too, is not that far from the United States, really, when you think about it, right? You can get straight into, like, nonstop flights into Lisbon. Can you
Yeah.
nonstop Are there nonstop flights into Porto as well? Or is it just as easy maybe to go to Lisbon and then go up towards the Douro? I'm not sure that logistically
I
how far that is.
I know that there are nonstops from Lisbon, and to be honest, if you're going for the first time, I would recommend stopping in Lisbon just because it's such an iconic place, and it's really easy to get to Porto from there. As for flights to Porto from, let's say, like Chicago for us, yeah, you have
But
to
that's
transfer for that.
but could you
Mhm,
take a train from Lisbon to Porto? Is that pretty
absolutely.
easy?
Yeah, 3
How
hours.
far would you say? Oh, 3 hours, that's
Mhm.
nothing. So you can kinda land in Lisbon if that's your destination you wanna see, and then
Mhm.
go up to Porto,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
go down, take a car or something down to the Douro.
Yeah, and it's Europe. There's a million ways to travel from one city to the next, and it's a whole new experience. That's what I loved about living in Spain as well, and why I love going back to Portugal, like I said, is I mean the transportation to get something new in a matter of hours is crazy. It's
Yeah,
what
that's incredible, and their train system is so good there. I
Mhm.
mean, you could just hop on the train and they're beautiful and they're fast, and that's part of the journey too, is experiencing a European train, in my
I know.
opinion. They're
Yeah,
just
I agree.
different than here. I mean, it's just not the same, but that's how they get around mostly there, besides, of course, flights, but,
Right, right.
yeah, I love getting on a European train. I
Me
just
too.
going to that train station,
I
that
know.
just I don't know, the excitement at the train station,
I know.
and it's a lot easier to get through a train station than, an airport, so,
It really is. There's
yeah.
something about, like you said, the aesthetic of it, but I don't know, for inter-country travel, I think it's so
Yeah.
much easier, um, and I have to say, if you wanna take the train, go into the São Bento train station in Porto, it really is beautiful.
And stay in the hostel.
And stay in the hostel, why not? Yeah, so
I
fun.
mean, who knows of a hostel in a train station? There aren't
I
many of
know.
those, I imagine. Well,
I
maybe in Europe there are, I don't know. But, okay,
probably
so what are some tips then if somebody's like, "I've never been to Portugal, I think I wanna go there." Do you have any tips for traveling to Portugal? And do they need to
yeah.
know Portuguese?
Like much of
Yeah.
Europe, if you speak English, you should be okay, and especially the big like Lisbon, Porto is big enough where, it's a tourist destination,
Yeah,
so you should be fine if you don't know how to speak Portuguese. I always was fine,
but you can learn a few words. "Thank
always.
you" and "please." I always think it's good to do that.
Obrigado. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
Right.
What is that one?
Thank
Or
you.
oh, yeah, can you say that
Yeah,
again?
obrigado, obrigada.
Obrigado. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yes.
What are some other
So
tips, do you think?
yeah, I would say, like I said before, taking that nonstop into Lisbon is what I would do if you this is for first timers, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, maybe take trains to other places. So that would still I stand by that because I think Lisbon is worth a stop. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful city. Um, I do have to say, when it comes to tips, sometimes it's less of a logistical tip and more of a here's the food you should eat for me.
Okay.
So if you're going, you cannot miss the pastel de nata, which is one of the most iconic pastries in not only Portugal, but all of Europe knows it.
Wow.
It's so famous and popular, and you'll find it all over the place.
What
You
is it
won't.
made of?
It's a little pastry like this big. It has a beautiful crust on the outside, and it's like an egg custard on the inside. Um, it's delicious, and the dangerous part is that you can keep popping them at all times of the day.
I'm sure there's no calories in them.
No,
I'm
it
sure.
doesn't matter.
No, because you're in Portugal, so there's no calories there. That's what I've heard.
No,
But
absolutely
put that
not.
with, like, a cup of coffee, because in Portugal and Spain, they're known for their coffee.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm a tea girl, but I still would drink coffee over there.
Right.
But if you put that with it, ooh, that could be really good in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that
absolutely.
sounds really good. What other food? Because seafood's really big over there.
Yes. So cod is actually really big there. Bacalhau, it's called.
Mm,
Um, so I would try some bacalhau. And then one that I had for the first time in Porto this time around. Okay, I have a pronunciation next to me. Um, Francesina.
okay.
It's a sandwich. I've seen people eat it kind of at all times of the day. I had it in the evening though. My friend and I split one. But it's a lot of meat with smothered in cheese, drenched in this like rich sauce. It's a very heavy meal, but it's super popular. And I remember we got the recommendation to try it from. I think we were just taking a taxi somewhere. So that's another tip. Ask your taxi driver for recommendations as you're going from one place to another. Use the local guide, the free
Yes.
local advice as you can.
Or they say,
We tried it.
ask the policeman that's directing the traffic." I mean,
Right,
if you don't mess up the traffic, because they always know the local places to go,
right.
right? Because they're, you know, that they're not eating at the very expensive I mean, they might eat at a fancy restaurant every so often, but on their daily in their daily life, they're eating at the local places, and they usually
Yeah,
know.
and I think it's important, you do your research ahead of time, and when you're Googling, the things that are gonna come up are perhaps a little bit more touristy, right? Or the suggestions, right? But if you ask a local, they might have something that you're not seeing on the first page of Google. They might
Yes,
have something
yes,
that's a little bit more niche, but is still super cultural and important to a region.
yes.
So, I think it's important, yeah.
You know what I love in Europe is when you go down, like, a winding street and you come across not a touristy, little cafe or a little restaurant, and then one of them I went to was it in Portugal? I think it no, I don't know where it was, but you went down these little stairs, and it had a little, alcove, and all of a sudden, there's the ocean. Like,
Ugh,
it was incredible, and it was, again, down a side street, it was not part of the tourist area. And that was really cool because those are the things I feel like you find in Europe a
yeah.
lot,
And you know what? That would be
if you're
maybe
looking.
another tip I would say too is bring your gym shoes and plan to walk a lot because I think especially in a place like Porto, you're gonna miss those little, like you said, alcoves. You're gonna
Yeah,
miss those hidden shops and restaurants that
yeah.
are tucked away or, have a beautiful view that you didn't realize if you don't explore. And like I said, there's a lot of steps and winding
Oh,
winding
yeah.
streets in Porto, but you're gonna want to take them because you're gonna want to find those things.
Right, a lot of cobblestone too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can eat more of the, custard. I can't remember the name of it. You can eat more of those if you've got
Pastel de nata,
stairs.
yes.
Thank you, pastel de nata. A
Mhm.
lot more of those with all the
Yes,
walking. Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it sounds great. I think Portugal will be on my list for next year, because when I was in 4th grade, everybody got to pick a country to do a, do a story on. So I picked Portugal.
Really?
I was in 4th grade. I still remember that. I had to do a whole, like, presentation,
Oh my
and
god.
then I finally went when I was 22, but that's the last time I was there, so I need to
Oh,
get back.
wow. Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
should go back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was college, so we didn't have much money then, but that made it more fun because the exchange rate was great. Is it still great now? Or not so much?
I mean, it's similar to the rest of Europe and
Yeah.
the Euro, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you can always find deals somewhere.
Always, yeah.
Well, I love this. I just live vicariously through you, so thank you.
Well, it was fun talking about it, and truly check out the Octant group. They have beautiful properties, and, if you wanna get a peek at what I described, how that hotel, the Octant Douro I stayed at looked like,
Yeah.
um, do a quick lookup of it. It truly is stunning. Yeah.
But where can they find out more information? Because you wrote a blog on it and you've posted about it on your Instagram. Where can they
Yes.
find you?
So, not only did I write a blog for your site, familytravelck.com, I also wrote one on your other one, roundtripcolleenkelly.com. So, if they want more information, one is kind of geared a little bit more towards families, one will point you in the right direction for maybe a little bit more luxury adults. So, you can kind of look that up on your respective sites. And I did also post on my social, but go directly to the Octant socials and website as well. So I have down there the Octant tags that you can look them up at, as well as their website. And then I also threw in a Porto website to look things up, to
Visit Porto,
visit Porto as
where you
well.
can have
Yeah.
that little glass of port.
Yes, it's lovely. It's so
Oh,
lovely.
someday I'll get there. Thanks, Megan. That was great. I
Thank
really
you.
got to know a lot more than what you said or showed on social. So, yeah, I'll have to put that on my list.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
always ready to talk about Portugal with people.
Yeah, done. Tap Portugal. We'll take that. That's the airline. All right. Well, that was great. I'm so glad you were on. And Megan travels like all over the place, the world. She's been our producer for how many years now? 6?
I think so, maybe.
It's probably 6 long years for her, but 6 arduous years for her. No, she's been incredible, and she's traveled with my family travel show. We went to Poland and Ireland, and she produced there, and then she went to live in Spain for a year and a half, and I thought she was going to leave me. And she said, "No, I just want to work from Spain." So I'm like, "Oh, thank God." And so she's incredible. But I'm glad you get a chance to always travel. So I want to have you on again because
Yeah.
when she lived in Spain, especially, she went to a lot more countries, and I'd love to have you get to know Megan more too.
Oh man, I would love to talk about Spain, my second home. Yeah.
All right, whole other episode.
Whole other episode.
Aw, thanks, Megan. I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, call you up.
Okay,
All right, bye, Colleen.
bye. Thank you so much for listening today to our podcast on Round Trip. For more information, you can follow us at Round Trip Colleen Kelly on all socials. You can also visit roundtripcolleenkelly.com for more information and travel articles. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can reach out at roundtripcolleenkelly@gmail.com. And finally, if you like what you hear, please follow, subscribe, and leave me a comment because I'd love to get to know all of you for the future. And I hope you enjoy all these episodes on traveling. Keep traveling.